a quick video today, but one that I think is really important to talk about, and that's the dangers of comparing ourselves to others when we're retired. It's probably the quickest way to lower your self-esteem or in your retirement journey, but it's very easy to do. And it's not something that you really think about going into retirement. In fact, when I was going into retirement, the way I looked at it was the playing field was now going to be level. In other words, you have a doctor out there, you have an attorney, you have a school teacher, you have a postal worker, all these different titles, but once you retire, everybody has that same title, retired. But the thing is, it's not really a level playing field, and this is what you have to understand, because everybody is going to have a different retirement lifestyle. And probably the biggest factor in determining that lifestyle is going to be the money that they bring into retirement. For example, those directors and executives out there are going to likely retire with a lot more money than that school teacher, and they're going to be able to do things that maybe that school teacher can't do. I experienced that just recently. I had lunch with a friend of mine who's a retired doctor, and they were talking about how he and his wife had just returned from Mexico, where they had a timeshare, and now they were off to Greece in a couple of months, and then they were going to be in Hawaii, another timeshare. And I was really happy for him, but in the back of my mind, I kept asking myself, did I not do enough to get to that same point that they did? But the thing is, once I really became aware of these thoughts in my head, it was easy to sit there. And of course, I'm having this conversation as I'm also having the conversation with him. But I'm thinking to myself, how many years did he spend in medical school compared to me going directly into the workforce? Yeah, he's going to have a different retirement lifestyle than what I have, and it's all the well for him. The other thing that I think really helps, and that is if you're not doing this, and I really encourage you to start, and that is citing what you're grateful for every day. I don't know if you're aware of something called morning pages. It's out of the book, The Artist's Way, and it's something I've been practicing for about a year now, where first thing in the morning, I write freely for about 30 minutes. The key is to write 3 pages. And for most people, they can write 3 full pages in about 30 minutes. And it's free flow writing, and I will do this, but I always make myself, at some point in these 3 pages, write out what I'm grateful for. And a lot of times it's more than 3 things, so I spend maybe a half a page on this. But I always express what my gratitude is. And I think by doing that, having done that, it really helped when these thoughts and these voices come into my head when I'm talking with somebody and I'm thinking to myself, I'm happy for them, but also it's like I'm comparing myself to that person and feeling a little sad for myself. But then again, I'm not really that sad because I have all these great things going in my life as well. If you are struggling with comparing yourself to others in retirement, I highly encourage you to start thinking about what it is that you are grateful for in your life. Because once you start practicing gratitude, it really does make a difference during these situations. Now, they're still going to come up because I think it's natural. But the thing is you can control it. And the key to controlling it is being aware that you're thinking these kind of thoughts. Once you're aware of that, you can then bring yourself out of that. And also there's another way to bring yourself out of it too, very quickly, once you become aware of it, is just simply, and I know this is going to sound crazy and funny, but it really does work, and that is just simply shouting out loud, or you don't have to shout it, but stop it! Just saying, stop it! Really jerks yourself out of that mentality. The only thing that I would suggest is don't do that when you're listening to your friend in a nice quiet restaurant. Wait till you're in the car and you're thinking about it, but it does work. So anyway, I just think this was really important. I think a lot of people out there in retirement may be doing the same thing, whereas they're comparing themselves to others. That's common, that's natural. But the thing is, everybody does have a different retirement story. Be aware of that. And that story may be based upon the money that they're bringing into retirement. You may not have a lot of money going into retirement. That's okay. I can guarantee you there's things that you are grateful for out there, and you just need to recognize what those are. Maybe it was just simply waking up this morning. Another one could be the family that you have, your kids out there, the life that you do have. There's things to be grateful for. Remember that. So if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification, as I am talking about embracing retirement with purpose, passion, and new beginnings every week, and I'd hate for you to miss anything. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.